Hello and welcome to Rita's Roost, to my hen house, and I'm going to show you today how I make hamburger buns and hot dog buns. I found this recipe, well I wrote it on this little note card here, and I dated it at 2013, so I've been using this one for a while, but I'm going to make it in the bread machine. I've got my bread machine back here, and here's the bowl. I go blank on words sometimes. But we're going to start by warming the milk and 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just going to guess it, 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to put them in there. I'm going to warm that. That'll melt. And we're going to put, here's the cow milk. We're going to get 1.5 cups cow milk. I have to look. Alright. That butter's melting here in my little pan. And I don't want it to get too hot. And it'll take 1 egg. So I'm going to put this egg in this bowl and beat it up just a little bit. Now we'll put it in the bread machine, and I'm sure you could put it in a mixer and knead it, and you don't have to use the bread machine. But to me, it's just easy. It doesn't take much hands-on time if I put it in there. It's already getting warm, so I don't want it hot. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, and I'm going to scoot that out of the way, because now we're going to put the stuff in here. I'm going to put the warm milk and the butter. I'm going to put my beaten egg. Now we're going to put some salt. We're going to put 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. Don't really want to get that against my yeast, because I don't want it to mess my yeast up. Stir that a little bit. I've got 1/4 of a cup of sugar. Now we're going to put just plain old flour. And it calls for 3 3/4 of a cup. And I'm just going to lightly dip it. 1, 2, 3, and I didn't round them up, and then 3/4, and I'm just going to guess at it. And I actually like to put a little less flour than maybe what it calls for, and that way if I need to add some later, I'm not adding too much. Because I think you can add too much flour, and then it's not really a good dough. And I'm just going to make a little hole down in that. And I've got fresh, good yeast. And we're going to put 1.5 teaspoons. And I made a little hole in the bottom. And that's all there is to the dough. Now I'm going to put it in the machine back here. I'm going to turn my back just for a minute. I'll get it on. What's wrong with you? And I programmed mine. It's gonna run for. I programmed it's gonna run for 1 hour and 30 minutes. In the hour and 30 minutes, I'm gonna bring it back and put it here and make the buns, and then we'll have to let it rise again. So there won't be a whole lot of hands-on time, but there'll be a lot of waiting time. All right, I'm gonna start it. Now it's doing its thing, so I can go do something else for a little bit. And then we'll bring it back and dump it out. Now my bread machine, it's in there, and it's set. It's set on the dough, and it's only been in there a little bit, and it's not going right now, but it'll knead it for a little while, then it'll let it rest. It'll knead, and then it'll let it rest, and there's my ball of dough. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer. What? Another hour and 20-some minutes. Well, I'm back, and if I've got my timing right, my bread machine's fixing to go beep, beep, beep until it's done. I've got my silicone mat out here. I'm going to grab some flour while we wait for the beep, beep, beep. I'm going to flour that. Alright, I'm waiting. I'll be any second now. Now, this is what we've got now. It's all risen up there. And you could always, bake bread in here, and it would be that shape right there. But we're making buns today. So, I'm going to dump it out and punch that down. It all come out just pretty good. I'll just kind of soak that just a little bit and rinse it out. Be ready to go again. Now, gotta really, I don't know which way it needs to come for you to see it. There it is. It's nice and warm and soft right now. And my recipe says it makes 12 buns. But the other day when I made them, they were just kind of a little bigger than what I wanted. So I'm going to make them a little smaller this time. I'm going to cut it in half and work with part of it at a time. Let's see. Let's cut it again. 2, 3. Let me cut that one in half. Now I've got 4 pieces. And what would it be? Three buns out of each little piece? But I'm going to make them. The other day I just pinched them off and flattened them down. I'm going to try them a little different this time. I'm going to get my rolling pin. And I'm going to roll it pretty flat because the other day they were a little more puffy on top than what I wanted. So we're going to make these different, or try to anyway. I've got this cookie cutter thing that I bought set up at the dollar store one day. So we're gonna cut them out this time. I'll go all the way. There's 1, 2, and I got 3 of them out of that. Didn't cut all the way through. Now, there's my 3 of my hamburger buns. I'm actually going to take my palm of my hand and push them a little bit flatter. But you know what I'm going to do with this piece here? Let's get it worked back together. I'm going to see if I can make a hot dog bun out of it. And have some hamburger and hot dog buns. When I was a kid in school, long time ago, the lunch ladies at my school used to have homemade hamburger and hot dog buns all the time. Now, that's gonna be one of my hot dog buns. I'm gonna put it right there. Now, and these, instead of cutting these out, I'm gonna show you how you can always do them like this. And then, but these were the ones that wasn't as perfect. There's another bun. Let's make a hot dog bun out of this one. Oh, that one looks better than that first one. And another hot dog bun. These are pretty good. There's another hot dog bun. Still got 2 pieces of dough here. So we're just going to go ahead with it. I actually think I'd rather shape them with my hand than with the cutter. But that's just, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm not a perfectionist. And the things I do sometimes are never just perfect. Some people wouldn't like it because it's not perfect. And I'm going to lay that there. Oh, I probably should have sprayed that. I meant to spray that, and I didn't. I'll do the next sheet. How about that? That's avocado oil. You could use any kind of oil. What am I going to make? 1, 2, 3. These will be another hot dog bun. They're not going to be real pretty. And I may make a couple of these little buns a little smaller for breakfast sandwiches. Put them over there. Still got another piece of dough here to work with. What we want to do with it. Make a couple more. Let's make some more pretty round ones. That dough, I'll stretch it out and then it kind of it shrinks back in. So I have to keep working. Need a little bit more flour. And these are just going to be everyday hot dog buns. They're not for they're not for entertaining purposes. They're for me and Terry to eat. These buns. There, got 3 more really pretty little round ones. And let's see. I'm just going to squeeze them together and make one more of the hot dog buns for the weenies. And get it together here. Now I'm going to put it on my sheet. Now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 buns, hamburger buns, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 hot dog buns is what I've come up with. So now they've got to rise again. This one's not shaped very good. I'm going to stretch him out a little bit more. And you could always, I'll show you what you could brush them with something and make them fancy with sesame seeds. Let's put a few sesame seeds on a couple of these. Put that oil just to get them to stick a little bit. I won't put them on the other one because Terry says he don't like them as well. But this is what I have now. So we're going to let those rise, and I'll be back and I'll show them to you after they rise, and then I'll have to put them in the oven and bake them and bring you back again. So I'm not spending a lot of time on it, but I'll have to keep bringing you back. And it'll probably take an hour for them to rise. Be back in about an hour. Well, I've had our buns rising, and some of them look pretty good. Now my hot dog buns, I need to work on my shape because they didn't quite work. My hot dog buns aren't very pretty, but some of those, they look about right. So I've got the oven preheating to 350, and I'm going to put them in the oven for 10 minutes, and I'll be back again with, because these pans are big, I may just bake one pan at a time. That way they'll bake more evenly. We'll start with this one. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, here are our 2 pans of buns. This is the last one to come out, so they're hot. I want you to look at this one. Well, look at that. Is that not a pretty hamburger bun? Now those hot dog buns, they're not real perfect. But I'm just real pleased with some of those. And this is the first pan. They've cooled a little bit. And some of them, like I said, this pan's cooled, and there's my bun. And after they cool enough you can handle them, take you a serrated knife, and be real careful, don't cut your hand, and cut them, and make you a hamburger, a sloppy joe, barbecue sandwich, whatever you want. There's our buns. And like I said, my hot dog buns, they're a little funny shape, but I've got some buns to work with now. That one for breakfast, that one for lunch, that one for supper. Anyway, you see how easy it is to do. And I tell you what, here a few days ago, I bought a loaf of bread at the dollar store when I run to town. And I've stored some of my old bread in there. But you know, if you read the list of ingredients on the side of this bread, that's the whole list of ingredients, a whole bunch of them. I can't pronounce part of them, but it's got stuff to retard spoilage. Now, that's something to retard spoilage, probably not good for you, is it? Anyway, I'm going to throw this old bread out and probably reuse this bag to store my other bread in. That's it for me. I'll post the recipe because I don't think I have a link to it. I have to write the ingredients. And you try it and let me know how it works for you. Hamburger buns. Homemade. Bye, y'all.